What's going on, people? Terry here from Blunt Trips, and it is cold as hell out here. Got a winter storm coming in, but today we're heading to the Aurora History Museum. So supposedly there's a train trolley in here that a dude actually had inside his home. I guess he built his home around this train trolley that he purchased for 50 bucks at that. But this trolley used to run through this town of Aurora at one point, I think back in the 50s I read. But anyways, we're going to go check it out and get all the details, so let's get going.
Population of about 3,000 residents in 1940.
This trolley was originally built in 1913 by the Wilbur Car Company here in Denver. It was used on several lines, including Line 14 from Denver to Aurora, making its last run in 1932. In 1950, trolley number 610 was sold to Dr. Edwin Perrott for just $50. Dr. Edwin Perrott then moved his trolley number 610 to his property, which was located on the corner of Colfax Avenue and Airport Boulevard. And there trolley 610 sat for over 40 years as part of Dr. Perrott's house. Now I say as part of his house because he actually built the house around this trolley. When the house was complete, it had one bedroom, two bathrooms, two kitchens, a living room, dining room, and a porch. Eventually, Dr. Perrott moved out with his wife, and they started renting the property. For 30 years, they rented this home out. Dr. Perrott eventually passed away, and he is buried here in the Denver area at Fairmont Cemetery. But after his passing, his son William took over the property, and his plans were to demolition everything on the property, including the trolley, and sell the land. That is until one day in 2006 when the Aurora Police Department responded to a vandalism and burglary call on the property. The police noticed something strange in the house and couldn't figure out what it was. They just knew it was a strange structure. But the police ended up going back and asking their supervisor to check it out in case it was something important. It ended up being trolley number 610. Despite being almost 100 years old and the windows and doors cut out of it, the frame was in excellent condition. At that point, the Aurora History Museum set out to acquire this trolley 610 from William Perrott. William Perrott happily agreed as long as they agreed to tear down the home that was built around it and remove the trolley from the lot. Then came the task of moving this trolley off the lot, which hadn't been moved in over 60 years. Once it was moved to its temporary location, the restoration process started. Needless to say, the Aurora History Museum was very happy to acquire this trolley. Now, a lot of these pictures and stuff that I'm showing you outside the trolley, including the bike and stuff, are things of Denver's history and transportation. We're going to head on inside this train in just a minute, but real quick, if you're liking this video, be sure to finger bang that button below. This history museum here in Aurora, Colorado had so much in it. I'm going to actually have to split this video up in at least 2 parts, possibly 3, because this is actually the end of my tour here. And I'm already an hour deep into this video. But when I heard about this trolley in the museum, I knew right away I was going to do a video on this trolley by itself, no matter what. But there was just so much in this museum that I'm going to have to do 2 or 3 more videos on it. There's some old ads. I don't know if those are originals or reprints. This is the house that was built around it. Now, I did look into this trolley and its history, and there was a few things I couldn't find. I could not find any actual pictures of Dr. Perrott. And the other thing I couldn't find was how he actually got the trolley to his property. I could not find the answer to that. This is the bell that was mounted on top of a trolley that would warn approaching at an intersection, as well as pedestrians, and later once cars were invented it would warn traffic as well. Look at these lights though. Look how old these lights are. Heinz mayonnaise salad dressing. You don't find light bulbs like this anymore. You know, some of the newer generations probably don't even know what a trolley train is. But this is how people used to get around back in the old days, before cars even. Trying to make sure I cover as much detail on this trolley as possible. You know, I'm not sure because I really couldn't find any pictures to compare it to. Again, this was from the early 1900s. This thing's over 100 years old. But the restoration on this really is amazing. It definitely gives you a feel of the early 1900s when you walk in here. Now, if you're ever in the Aurora area, this is free to come to. This is the Aurora History Museum, and it's located right in Center Point, I believe this was. Not far from the police station and everything like that. But this is a free attraction. If you're ever in Aurora, Colorado, you definitely want to check this out. Even the hardware and the screws on this, if you guys look at this, I don't know where they found the hardware for this. These are not like average screws that you see in your Home Depot. But just an amazing job on restoring this. Trying to get everything so people can pause and read if they want to. And keep in mind, I don't know if many of you know it or not, but on your tablets, you can also zoom in on things. Just do the pinch and spread your fingers and you can zoom in. So if there's something you can't see real clear, I'm trying to get a good picture of it without zooming in so I don't mess up the quality of the video. And you still have that option to zoom in and read if you want. I actually didn't even know you could zoom in on YouTube on your phone and tablets until probably about a year ago. Because most of the time I watch my YouTube on the PC in the studios and stuff, and you can't do it on a computer. But on your phone and tablet, you can zoom in on things. And once again, just a quick reminder in case you were holding out and you weren't sure if you liked the video earlier, or you wanted to see more of the video. If you haven't clicked that like button, go ahead and do so. Just trying to get some of that hardware so you guys can see the window itself and some of the brackets holding them together, and the screws in general. That's just not screws you see everywhere. Real quick though, if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to go ahead and subscribe to this channel. It is free. Some people don't know that, so I do want to mention it is free to subscribe. So go ahead and click that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos I got dropping. How many of you are old enough to remember riding a trolley? You know, I know as a kid, they had them in Disney and stuff. I'm sure they still do. I haven't been to Disney in a long time, but I've been on a trolley. Have any of you been on a trolley? Let me know down in the comments. Nobody ever leaves me comments, so let me know down in the comments if you've been on a trolley before. Let me know if your city still has trolleys running. Some cities actually still have them running throughout the city. I think Seattle does, maybe. There may be a few other cities, but I believe there is still some trolleys running in a few cities. Now don't quote me on Seattle. I don't want people from Seattle down in the comments debate me, because those are the only people that do leave comments, is the ones that's got something negative to say. But let me know if you do have trolleys in your city. I think most cities nowadays use public bus. I think buses, and Denver we have trains and stuff, but no more trolleys. I don't think there's many trolleys in many cities left anymore. Wow, look at some of these old advertisements. I wonder if these are reprints. I'm pretty sure they are, just looking at the color of them and the quality of the paper. You know what I'm surprised you don't see advertisements of? And I know they did back in the older days for like 10 cents, was packs of cigarettes. I know Colorado in general is not big on smoking. I don't see many smokers in general here since I've moved to Colorado. But I know back in the older days you did see a lot of tobacco and cigarette product advertisement. I'm just surprised there's none on here. I'm pretty sure that it has to do with the new laws where you can't advertise tobacco products. But back in the older days, that was the most common thing I think you would see advertised on posters and billboards, was tobacco and cigarette products. Wow, spitting on the floor is prohibited by law. Spitting on people is prohibited by law too. Don't forget that. No matter how mad you get, people, don't spit on anybody. Wow, big change from what you see nowadays on buses. Look at that, imagine having to sit on those to get to work. Sorry if I seem like I'm going over and over. I'm just trying to get in detail some of this hardware. For people that don't live in the Denver area and don't get the option to see this. But for those that did live in the Denver area back in the day, let me know if you remember some of these advertisements. Let me know if you remember riding on trolleys like this back in the day. If you remember seeing these trolleys. I don't know if I have anybody old enough to remember when the trolleys were going. I think the trolleys died out in the 50s, if I'm not mistaken. So I doubt there's any viewers really kind of watching that would remember the trolleys. But you never know. You do never know. I've seen, just the other day, I seen an 80-something-year-old woman rocking Rob Zombie song, and she really put it on. So you just never know what's out there. You know, Heinz was really big in the day. I see Heinz vinegar, I see Heinz mayonnaise, and Heinz mayonnaise is actually my favorite, but I can never find it in Walmart. That's the crazy thing. They got Hellmann's, they got Kraft, but I can never find Heinz. That's what's weird. And it looks like that was like the big brand here in the Denver area. Anyways, look at this hardware. You know, I did try to find more on Dr. Edwin Perrott himself, and there just wasn't a lot of information about him. There wasn't. The biggest thing that came up actually was his find grave, and found out he was actually a locally buried. But when I tried to search what other accomplishments he had and things like that, there just really wasn't a lot on him. But again, he passed away in like the 70s, I believe it was, and was born in the 1800s. So it's not like they saved a lot of information on everybody like there is nowadays. It's not like everybody had their own page and was able to document stuff for future generations to read. Wow, many of these brands I've never heard of. To think, you look at all these advertisements, and most of these companies did not survive. keep looking for like website info on these advertisements or something so I can go check out the companies. There's just nothing there. I've never heard of a lot of these companies. Heinz, I think, is the only one I recognize.
Well, that's going to do it for me here at the Aurora History Museum. That was really cool. This train is something else. Be able to actually get on a train that's that old. But this was a really cool museum. I got to actually learn a lot about Aurora, so I was really happy that I came here today. But anyways, I'm going to wrap this one up. Until next time, you all stay cool. Oh yeah, by the way, if you guys like the video, don't forget to click the like button.